Hi everyone, the following is a video introduction and tutorial for Level 9 or Activity 9 Disc Color Maze in VexCode VR. So for this challenge, you're going to be on a new playground. We're going to be on the one called Disc Maze, and there are two levels for this activity. Level 1 says, use the forever loop to program a VR robot to move through the disc maze from start to finish using specifically the front eye sensor to detect the disc colors. You must detect all of the disc colors before moving to the finish. The green square is the starting point and the red disc is the finish. Use the pen to trace your path along the way so we can see where you went as you navigated the course. And of course, include a stop project block it so we can have a timed challenge with this. We want to see who can complete the maze in the shortest amount of time possible. So with that, again, you're going to start here on this green tile, and you have to hit each one of these other colored discs out here. You can't skip any of them. You got to touch each one, or at least recognize it with a sensor, let's say, and then navigate out to the red tile. What you might begin to notice is there's a way to kind of bounce through here. Each of these colors is going to be specific to you in terms of either taking a left or a right turn. So I'm going to give you a little hint there. Level 2, changing things up a little bit here, says use a while loop to program the VR robot to move through the maze again from start to finish, hit all the different blocks, but this time using the down eye sensor to detect the floor colors. You can't use the forever loop because I really want you folks to use the while loop on this one and swap out the front eye sensor for the down eye sensor. You must detect all of the floor tile colors. So each one of these locations are actually is like an upright disc, which is what you'll be recognizing in level 1. And then in level 2, there's an actual color on the ground here. So again, you must detect all of the floor tile colors before moving to the finish. The green square is the start, red is your finish. Use the pen to trace your path, include a stop project block so we can have a timed challenge. If I scroll down to the second page, these are just some helpful hints I included here. The sensing blocks category takes time for information to relay in some circumstances, especially when we're using this online program and there's a little bit of delay in that regard. So driving faster can affect the accuracy and repeatability of your code. I know we've been thinking about set everything to 100% and let it rip, but in this challenge, in my own experience, I found the faster I went, the least accurate my robot performed as it was using that sensing block to look around for different things. So just word to the wise, you can totally play around with that. And I think I've had students that were able to get it to go 100% speed and velocity and had no problems performing that. So again, I think it's just kind of a how well your browser is running that day kind of thing. Either way, moving forward, we'll also be using the forever block in level 1. And with this, it'll keep the eye sensors constantly checking for certain colors. And then in addition to that, these are the rest of the blocks we'll likely be using. For both levels, we have the while loop, we have if-then statements, we have an if-then-else statement, your stop project. I have a not operator down here that I used, the pen down, of course, and then all of my sensing blocks. Are you near an object, and is the sensor detecting a certain color? So there's two different questions you can ask the sensor. Do you see an object, and what is the color specifically? And then some driving ones here, just turning for a certain amount, driving forward, and then stop driving. So those are my helpful hints. And if I page over here to my VexCode VR, again, you'll see I have those same blocks kind of laid out here. It's where I took the screenshot from. You can see that I have, in fact, been running my velocity for drive at 25% and turn at 75%. I'll play around with that here and see if I can get it to go faster. And then up top here, I have some examples for how you can kind of structure both level 1 and level 2 for your work. So in level 1, I put some comments here next to it. And this can be helpful for you if you're struggling with anything like this, is to just write it out in terms of pseudocode or comments, and then replace those as you go with blocks of code. So here for level 1, I said, if the first if then else statement will check to see if a condition is true or false. So it's going to forever loop it. And then the first if then else statement is saying, if the front eye is near an object, then do the stuff inside of my if. If it's not near an object, go ahead and do the stuff down here that's in the else. And then The next three things that I have there are basically just evaluating, well, if I do see an object, great, what color is it? Because based on the color, I'm either going to want to go left, right, or stop. So for green and blue here, either going left or right, and for red, we want to stop because you made it to the finish line. All right, now over here on level 2, I put a drive forward command in there first and then said drive forward while not detecting red. So I want this program to run for as long as it can while it's not detecting red. Once it does detect red, it'll actually exit the while loop and there's nothing else below the program. So I'll have a stop project there and it'll stop functioning. So it's just a different way of kind of go about organizing these blocks. I have seen folks do it differently and still have success with that. So by all means, feel free to kind of play around and see if there's other options here. But specifically, I want you to use that while loop just to get a hang of it. And so with this one, again, if I'm not detecting red, then go ahead and detect either green or blue inside of there. And then making decisions based on whether or not you see green or blue. So real quickly, I'll show you that's what my code has. Again, I did have a stop driving and a stop project blocked at the very end of level 2. And if I go back here, I'm just going to go ahead and run those for you. I don't want to give away too much of my code. I will run level 1. Off we go. Make my way to a green and I take a right, make my way to a blue and I make a left. So that's how I'm navigating the course. Apologies. Go back to a top-down view here. And the biggest issue I ran into when running this at full speed was that it would actually smash into the block instead of recognizing it and turning away from it. So just for argument's sake, let's see if I can reset this and actually run it at 100%. Yeah, so right away, he went way too far into that second blue block. It's over here flying around in time and space. That's awesome. Okay, reset, bring this back down to 25 and 75. Okay, and then what I want to do is move this over to level 2. I just have these little my blocks here to make that a little easier. And now I'll be detecting floor tiles using a while loop. So you can actually see it actually will turn a little bit before it hits those areas, just because the floor tile sticks out further on the ground than the disc does upright in the back. Navigating my way through the maze here. So with this one being a little bit trickier in terms of speed and accuracy, I think we could definitely have a pretty good challenge as to who can complete each one of these levels in the fastest way possible. All right, so that's a look at level 9, the disc color maze. Hopefully y'all have fun with this, and thanks for watching.